Hello, guys. This is Greg Shiver with Walk the Road podcast, and I want to say welcome. I want to tell you we're going to have a great show today. We've been around for a while, so I want to say thank you for being here. I want to tell you who we are. Well, Walk the Road is dedicated to building the community by featuring local, nonprofit organizations and businesses and individuals whose missions are to improve the lives, especially those facing like addiction and homelessness, and the complex journey to recovery. And as a Christian-based organizations, we intertwine faith, hope, and transformation through real-life interviews and community events. The power of redemption and second chances, and hope and practical support for individuals who are struggling with addiction and homelessness. The strength of the community partnerships in Eau Claire and beyond. And we want to create a platform that not only helps informs listeners about local happenings and nonprofit missions, but also actively connects community with members and resources and support networks. And so we're here, me being an ex-offender and being incarcerated myself and working through, recovery and ups and downs and struggles through life. I've been through it all, and I'm still struggling. I walk the road. I struggled with cancer and epilepsy, and I currently just walk the road and try and help people do that. So join us as we do. Sometimes I'll have interviewees, sometimes I won't, and we just try and make it through on a day-to-day basis. So welcome for being here.
Under a cloud of debt and controversy. So luckily we didn't get too established with him, because that would have probably branded us as not being reliable and so on. But anyway, we finally got a grant in the fall of 22 to start a women's program from the Eau Claire Community Foundation. Then we started the men's program in the spring of 23. We couldn't sustain the women's program, but we're going to come back to that, and hopefully we'll have one in all the 3 counties that we hope to serve in the near future. That first grant got us started, and since then we've gotten other grants. Andrew can probably talk more about the funding and the success he's had in Dunn County in raising money. Probably our biggest grant is a 3-year United Way 25 to 28. We didn't get what we asked for, but we got enough to perhaps have a little bit, have a timeline that's a little less than what we wanted to do in the grant. But we plan to start a men's program in Chippewa Falls next year, restart the women's program in Eau Claire County the following year, and the last year of the grant will start a women's program in Chippewa Falls. So we hope to have men's and women's mentoring programs in all 3 counties by the end of 2028. I did meet with the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council today and presented our program, and it looks like they're all on board to help us get established in Chippewa. So we're looking forward to that collaboration. That's about all I wanted to say in terms of the history of the program. But even though we've changed a lot over time, our mission is the same. Our mission is to cultivate inclusive, accepting, and empowering spaces with people who face barriers due to a conviction history, facilitating full integration into our community. So we want to bring everyone to the table, the round table, to create positive, supportive recovery and reentry solutions. We also, our bylaws specify that we have people with lived experience on the board as staff and as peer support specialists. So we encourage people who choose to do that. We'll support them in obtaining that certification if they want to. I just want to thank you for joining us tonight at our annual meeting. And what I'd like to do next is just pass the microphone around. And if you would please, just tell us your name and maybe one sentence to describe your connection with our organization. Are you a mentor or mentee, or maybe you're a collaborating organization, or maybe you're just here out of interest? Oh, we might have to wait a second here. Oh, he's being nice. Okay. So I'm just going to pass it, and you just go down one row and up the others, and we'll get the people on the outside, and so we can all get to know each other.
My name is Nate. I'm the mentee.
My name is John, and I'm a mentor here.
I'm John as well, and I am a mentor.
Hi, I'm Julie. I'm interested in revitalizing the women's initiative in Eau Claire.
I'm Justin with Eau Claire Sober Living, and I send a lot of men to it and support it.
My name's Dave. I'm one of the mentors here.
I'm Randy, and I'm in recovery.
I'm Serena. I'm in recovery.
Jonathan, mentee.
I'm Cole. I'm a mentee.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm a mentor. Darian, a work in progress.
I'm Greg. I am a mentee.
Dave Rice, I'm on the board, treasurer, and also a mentor.
I'm Jason, and I'm a mentee. I'm Rob. I don't know what way I'm supposed to face, but I'm on the board. I'm also one of those people that would love to see the Sober Tavern happen. So if you have a venue and want to help make that happen, let's talk.
Hi, I'm Melissa from the Red House of Hope, the founder and president, and we have a community retreat center and hope to collaborate more, as well as some mentorship stuff that we do.
Hi, I'm Scott, and I'm a mentor in Eau Claire.
Brad, and I'm a mentor in Eau Claire.
Dave's going to give us a little quick financial report, which I guess is so often part of an annual meeting.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I've been on the board. I'm the treasurer, been on the board for about 3.5 years, so financially we're doing pretty well. We got money in the bank. Recently we got a grant from the Greater United Way of Chippewa Valley. We'll be getting about $10,000 a year for 2 years and then $7,000 for 3 years. So this money can go for our programs in both Eau Claire and Chippewa. We get this paid monthly, so we have money in the bank from United Way in the Greater Chippewa Valley. Supports our mentoring programs, site managers, if we can hire site managers, expenses for meetings, meals. We have liability insurance, outreach. We're always regularly trying to come up with fundraisers. We recently got $500 from Excel Energy. Each year we've gotten about $500 to $600 from the Unitarian congregation in Eau Claire. Right now, Don is applying for a $5,000 grant from the Women's Giving Circle in Eau Claire. Andy has gotten us $2,000 from the Dunn County opioid settlement. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what can we use that for?
Dunn County programming.
Anything in Dunn County?
Anything in Dunn County.
So that's $2,000 in hand plus the money from the Greater United Way for Eau Claire and Chippewa. Eau Claire mentoring, we've got, according to my latest notes, we've got 7 matches. We have 4 people from Eau Claire Sober Living. Andy says in Dunn County we have 32 participants. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, way to go, Dunn County. Including 11 in the jail. We've got more referrals for mentors. We hope to expand into Chippewa County. That was part of our pitch to the United Way, the Greater United Way. And Don has been working with the Chippewa County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council to try to get the program set up there. The hope is that we'll get a men's program going in Chippewa County sometime in the spring of 2026. We're hoping to get women in Eau Claire going in the spring of 2027 and women in Chippewa the spring of 2028. So those are the plans right this minute. Obviously that can be accelerated if we get, with the money we have, and if we get people interested to get going with the men and women in both Eau Claire and Chippewa County. Basically we're doing well. The money is flowing. Obviously We've been living on a shoestring for a long time, and we're not quite on a shoestring. We're maybe a couple of shoestrings and a couple of shoes. But, we're always looking for money, and we're always looking for more mentees and mentors. We're expanding our participation, we hope, into Chippewa County soon. And the basic, conclusion is we're doing well, we're expanding, we've got money in the bank, and we got all you great people who are here participating. So thanks for everybody.
Hi, everybody. I know all the faces that are here, which makes me smile when I'm standing up here. So I've got a couple of things that I'm going to go through tonight. But the first thing that I'd like to do is recognize that we talked about having a women's program here in Dunn County, and I actually have two individuals that are here tonight that I asked to be here. Serena, wave so everybody can see you, and Carissa, wave. Carissa and Serena have both been identified as mentors within the women's program here in Dunn County. So we are this close to pulling the trigger on having a women's program here in Dunn County. So thanks for being here tonight, ladies. Absolutely appreciate that. Also really excited to have Julie here with us tonight as well, talking about revitalizing the women's program in Eau Claire. One of the things that I want to recognize is that in Dunn County here, we started the men's program. We hit our year mark in March, so we're about a year and a half in. And I think it's a huge testament to see today we have 31 participants in our program in Dunn County. And 11 of those programs are currently incarcerated. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the program that we are affiliated with and how we worked our way in to get behind the curtain to be affiliated with the jail. But I want to recognize all of the mentors and the mentees in the Dunn County program, as well as the Eau Claire program. We're making it happen, guys. This was a dream that we had. Don talked about getting up and going, and then COVID happened, and everything kind of came to a grinding halt, and we continue to grow week after week, month after month. So everybody give yourself a round of applause. That's pretty cool. Okay. So I actually invited Shelly Joe. Can I put this in here? That's so much better. I actually invited Shelly Joe Metzger, who is she is the counselor through the Dunn County Jail and the one that is responsible for helping oversee the therapeutic program along with Heather Pica through the jail. So I just wanted to kind of give a general overview. Shelly Joe couldn't be here tonight. She fell ill this morning. She started emailing me at 6:30, all in a panic that she couldn't be here. And I said, that's okay, we'll pivot. So I have her notes. I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to tell you what the therapeutic program is. So, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to share an overview of the therapeutic community now being offered at the Dunn County Jail. This initiative is a meaningful step toward in our county's commitment to addressing substance use, support recovery, and improving reentry outcomes. What it is, the Jail Therapeutic Community, or TC, is a structured, recovery-focused living and programming model inside the Dunn County Jail. It brings participants together in a shared space in daily routines centered on treatment, accountability, and pro-social skill building. The program was launched in February 2025 with support from a Wisconsin Department of Justice Residential Substance Abuse Treatment Grant and is overseen by the Criminal Justice Collaborating Council. That was a mouthful. Why it matters. Therapeutic communities are an evidence-based approach that helps people with substance use disorders change their lives through structured peer support, personal accountability, and behavioral health interventions. Research shows that these communities reduce relapse, improve reentry outcomes, and lower recidivism. How it works. Participants live in a recovery-oriented housing unit with a structured schedule of treatment and skill-building activities. The program includes evidence-based groups such as moral recognition therapy, living in balance, coping with anger, trauma-informed care, parenting, and work readiness. The jail also provides access to medication-assisted treatment, individual sessions, and re-entry planning. Together, these elements create a whole-person approach to recovery and re-entry. Community partnerships. A key part of this program is connection to the community. Roundtable Revival's mentoring services play an integral role by creating bridges for participants as they transition back into the community. Mentors provide consistent support, build positive relationships, and walk alongside individuals as they navigate housing, employment, and recovery. This mentorship helps close the gap between incarceration and reentry, ensuring participants are not facing the journey alone. Who is involved? The program is guided by the Dunn County Criminal Justice Collaborating Council with active support from the Sheriff's Office, jail staff, behavioral health officers, and community treatment providers. This collaboration ensures that each participant has access to a comprehensive range of services and supports. What success will look like? Success will be measured through participant enrollment and completion rates, in-custody progress such as rule compliance and program attendance, and post-release outcomes including treatment, engagement, housing stability, and reduced recidivism. By focusing on both immediate and long-term outcomes, the TC will create lasting change for individuals and the community as a whole. In summary, the therapeutic community at the Dunn County Jail is more than a program. It's an opportunity. It represents our shared commitment to giving people the tools they need to rebuild their lives, strengthen their recovery, and return to the community with hope and support. With the collaboration of partners such as Roundtable Revival and others across the county, we are creating a pathway that truly brings incarceration to lasting recovery and stability. That's good. So I would like to recognize our mentors here in Dunn County. If you are currently mentoring somebody in the Dunn County Jail, raise your hand. Let's give them a round of applause. Did anybody have any questions about the TC community? So it launched in February, and we started doing mentoring in the jail at the beginning of March. So pretty quickly, they brought us on board as the mentorship model for the TC program. Hi. Okay. All right, the next thing that's on our agenda is I actually have a testimonial that I want to share with everybody. And this testimonial comes from one of the participants who is currently incarcerated in the jail right now. It's, I'm just going to read. These are his words that he wanted to share to the entire group tonight. Hello all, my name is Brad Raitman. I'm 49 years old. I've been married for 24 years. I'm a father of 4, 2 with my wife and 2 from an 11-year relationship prior to her. Both of my children with my wife still live at home, are in college and employed in our community. My wife is a career woman employed through Trimble County Human Resource Office. But as we all know, addiction has no boundaries and does not discriminate. It can be in any household or neighborhood in our community, from successful to the unhoused. I grew up in a safe rural area outside Red Wing, Minnesota with the best parents anyone could ever ask for. I had structure, school, love, affection, and fun. I would like to touch base on my addiction. I believe it started at the age of 5. I was the grandchild that delivered the small cups of blackberry brandy to my grandparents' euchre tournaments. That's when I experienced the warm and fuzzy feeling. Fast forward to the age of 14, I started committing criminal behavior along with drug use. Started with marijuana, by 16 cocaine and opiates, experimented with acid, mushrooms, peyote, and mescaline, started using crank at 17, and have been a stimulant user until present day. As far as my criminal history, it has led me to a 14-month stay at the Sheriff's Youth Program in Minnesota as a juvenile, and 3 separate stays at Minnesota Correctional Facility Red Wing as a juvenile. I've also been to prison 2 times in Minnesota and 6 times in Wisconsin. After experiencing that over the course of 30 plus years, my choices led me to have relationships that were not healthy for my recovery. My goals were non-existent, and support was very limited coming out of the institutions I was in. While an inmate inside the system, you're generally forced into programs while you're there that satisfies the DOC, but the addict is left with little or no support networks after completing their program. I don't want to blame the system or say it's broken, but there are some disconnects with the reentry process. This is where my story gets cool. I came to the Dunn County Jail on December 20th, 2024. I had been on the run for close to a year. I had pretty much given up on life. Then just before Christmas, Heather Pica shows up with candy canes and the sign-up pamphlet for the TC, Community in the Jail. Over the course of the holidays, I had an opportunity, or a forced opportunity, to dry my wet brain out and started to take a look at what was going on in my life. I started signing up for programs that Miss Pica has at the jail. And by the way, she has more programs in that jail than I've seen in any inpatient or outpatient programs out there. After signing up with Shelley Joe for the program, I started meeting with her on a weekly basis. So February 3rd, we moved in. There was 5 people in the original group, all with different backgrounds, ages, and drug histories, but we all have a desire for a different purpose in our lives. Going into the community was so unique in a jail setting. We are able to be away from negative war stories, glorifying crime, and meeting new drug dealers. We have schedules to follow 5 days a week, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have to be up and doing programming work. Doing these functions by choice is a whole new dynamic to the recovery process. Generally, through corrections, it's forced. If you don't follow through, revocation will follow. Here, it's a self-chosen process. With that being said, there was a sense of bonding, more truth-sharing, of life experiences and the traumas of their lives. The real roots of the issues, men becoming vulnerable and even admitting that they are broke or have been broken, is rare. Men are supposed to be tough. Once that trust was established, you could see the surrender take place. And I'm a stubborn man. Shelley Jo made a suggestion to me about getting a mentor. I figured if I'm going to surrender, I might as well get all the help I can. So I believe it was March 25th that we met in jail. I told myself beforehand that I was going to do this whole process completely transparent. No fake personas, 100% open and honest. It was such a cool experience to be able to tell a person your flaws, shortcomings, failures without being judged. Having the opportunity to have a connection with a stable, healthy recovery community upon release and working with you while you're serving your time is a huge help. Providing that vision of hope and setting up goals that are generally overlooked are detrimental for successful reentry into society and recovery. Feeling accepted into something good after being miserable for so long in addiction truly inspires new ways of thinking. While working with Andrew, self-worth and value in myself was reestablished. The courage to believe in myself and to feel good about the things I was doing was rebuilt again. Andrew learned a lot about me as well as encouraged me to use my experiences and testimony to help others while working on myself. He called it a gift. So I tried it. There was a young man here, we'll call him Tom. He's 18. He was here for about 3 months. He was addicted to stimulants. As I got to know him more, he shared a lot about his life growing up, ranging from alcoholism to abuse he experienced at home throughout his childhood. I wouldn't pry or dig. I would listen when he needed to dump it off. I encouraged him to try some of the books we have in the TC unit. It was stressful at first, but he got more of it out. Obviously stuff he had never got out or knew how to get out. Once he discovered that he didn't let up, he signed up for school again. He had earlier dropped out of high school. He also signed up for church groups and accepted Christ into his life for the first time. He also worked with me as a night worker in the jail. He excelled at all of the things that were available to him. By the time he left here, he earned 17 certificates for various groups and completed his HSED and took pictures in a cap and gown. He is in the community and abiding by the rules of his release. Sometimes after life knocks you around, it takes stuff from us, and we don't know how or where to find it again. I'm grateful for the opportunity to find that again, just like Tom did. This collaboration of individuals running these programs assist in opening the doors to become successful again. Developing healthy relationships with people, that care is super important. I found that here, and I'm proud to say I did that through the Dunn County Jail programs. I'm looking forward to continue my re-entry to the community through Roundtable when Andrew picks me up next month when I'm released. I'd like to give a special thanks to Andrew, Shelley Jo Metzger, and Heather Pica for all the help and support through my recovery journey in the TC unit at the Dunn County Jail. Sincerely, Brad. Kind of speaks for itself, right? Okay, it's on you, buddy. I'm popped out. Is this mine? No?
I just wanted just a couple more remarks. I think that what we're doing in Dunn County is amazing. We hope that we can mimic that in Eau Claire County and in Chippewa County. And I think we can all learn from each other and pick up different techniques and ways of trying to make the system more responsive to the needs of people who are returning citizens. As far as I know, the official recidivism rate of our program is zero. We've had people pick up a new charge, I think one in Dunn County and one in Eau Claire County, but no one that we have been working with has actually returned to jail or prison, which I think is amazing. And I have all of you to thank for that. So I just as a way of public recognition, could we have all the mentees stand up? And let's give them a hand. And now all the mentors, please stand up. Thank you very much for your time. One thing we've noticed, and I know Brad, one of our mentors, has actually spoken publicly in 2 different churches about this, is it also has a very strong impact on mentors. They really kind of have to face some of their uncertainties and their fears, and they are able to reduce their level of prejudice towards people who have a criminal history, and then they pass that on to the community, and that helps to lower the stigma community-wide. So I think having a community-based program has some additional benefits that I don't think we thought about so much when we first started, but we really have noticed it since. I think that's and so we do have a portion on the program. If anyone wants to take the mic and say anything, they're welcome to. Would anybody like to say anything? It's not a requirement. It's not a test. Anybody?
Oh, I have something to say. Okay. I do have an update. So Don talked about us receiving funding to expand our services into Chippewa County over the course of the next 3 years. I also have a proposal out right now to Pepin and Buffalo counties who have expressed an interest in having mentoring service in those 2 counties as well. It's in the very preliminary stages with that, but I'm working with their Criminal Justice Collaborating Council to see if we can have some of the programming there as well. So more to come as we learn more. So very quickly, we could be spreading into 2 more additional counties. So that would be 5 counties that we would be in. So that's good. Julie has something to say. Here's the mic, Julie. No. Oh, you did it. You did it. You did it, Julie.
I just have a question.
Yeah, okay.
Is this therapeutic community model being used anywhere else in our area? And when I say area, I mean that very broad.
So here's one of the things. Dunn County is actually a pilot program for the therapeutic community. And it started through that grant that was done through the Department of Justice. And it's here in Madison, and I want to say Door County is the other county. They're the 3 pilot programs for this thing that they're trying. And eventually they're hoping to make it a statewide initiative. So it is in every jail within every county within Wisconsin.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. So we're kind of at this, we have this unique opportunity, right, for our collaboration that we're doing and mentoring with folks in the jail to really show the success of what it means to have a mentor and how that bridges the gap with folks coming back into the community. So, yeah.
Andrew, can I just share something?
Of course. Here's the mic.
Can you pass that down? Thank you.
Thank you. So one of the reasons that we started our nonprofit was because of someone that was like a daughter to us that was in jail, actually in Chippewa County Jail. And when she came out, it was 48 hours after she had come out. She had been doing amazing, 120 days clean, and she overdosed actually down in Pepin County, and then died. And so that was one of the reasons. So I just want to thank you guys so much for what you're doing, and it's kind of given me an idea, not an idea of a purpose of what our original intent was. And so I'm alongside Julie too, as far as with the women's mentorship, because that was the intent. That's why my husband and I chose to start the nonprofit, because of losing her and not wanting any other family to go through that. And so what you guys are doing are so powerful, and getting into the jails, like, if it is a what if, right? And so now we just move forward. And so I just want to thank you for that.
So we were promised T-shirts, and this is as far as we've got so far here. So just I want to point that out. So pick them up here, right in this pile.
Rob, you got anything to say?
Do I need, well,
Maybe a t-shirt.
T-shirts are still, we're working through something with the print vendor for the shirts, and I think there was paperwork that Don needed to fill out with David's support, and then I need to push a button on the website. So it's a lot harder to get T-shirts than anyone convinced me of. So, but we're working on it.
Anyone else?